Hey everyone, time for another Pathfinder adventure card game scenario. This adventure is going to be scenario 2.4. We're in the Peasant Tombs. So let's go ahead and advance the Blessings deck. And the first card we get is Ebola's Dexterity Range. Ahmotep's Dexterity, D6 plus 1. So she gets it. So she acquires this item, which is going to go straight into her discard pile. Alright, not changing her hand. Advancing the Blessings deck. Let's see what we get. Okay, we get the Fire Ward Gel. Not too interested in acquiring this item. It's item B. Ahmotep only wants items of level 1 or 2, since we're on level 1 or 2. So she does not acquire this card. It goes into the discard, or gets banished, rather. Ahmotep's hand is fine. Advancing the Blessings deck. We get a Blessing of the Ancients. Okay, my Divine Scale is D4. So, I get a 1. So, no chance of getting that card. It gets banished. Advancing the Blessings deck. Moving right along. Okay, we get this location's henchman slash villain. Okay, it says here, so it didn't examine this card after you act. So there's an effect after I act, and okay. Oh, it says here, when you examine this card or before you act. Succeed at an Intelligence, Wisdom, Stealth, or Perception 8 check. Okay, so I have a Blessing of Ra. And at this location, the Peasant Tombs, when you play a boon that has a fire trait, bury it. So I'm going to play the Blessing of Ra. I'm going to bury that. I am going to roll my intelligence check. So I'm going to be able to roll 2d10 on this. Nothing else in my hand that's going to help out. Alright. So I rolled a 7 and a 4. Alright, so that is greater than 8. Okay, so past that initial thing. But now I have to do a combat check 19. Okay, in my hand I have a... so I have the Explorer's Staff. So the Explorer's Staff is a weapon, which will allow me to use my Strength, which is D8, plus a D6. So then, let's see. I'm already looking ahead. That really sucks because when closing I have to bury a card that has a Divine trait. And, in my hand... Oh, cool. I do have a card with the Divine trait. Awesome. Okay, so with the Explorer Staff, I'm going to additionally discard it. So I'm rolling 2d6 plus a d8. Then I'm going to use... Actually, I guess I can't use the weapon. Reveal this card and discard a card that has a Nethys trait or a spell to add 2d4 on the attack force to a combat check. So that's interesting because I have the Twin Serpent Quarterstaff. So it says here, reveal this card and discard a card that has a Nethys trait or a spell. I only have one spell. See, otherwise I'd be able to combo up with these two weapons. But I guess what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to still use the Explorer's Staff, discarding it. I'm going to recharge the Twin Serpent Quarterstaff, which will allow me to roll a d8. And I'm going to recharge Idori, my ally, to add 1d4. Okay, a lot of good options here. Rolling a total of 5 dice, and I get to add plus 2. Alright, so I rolled a 3, 4, which is 7, and a 5, 15, 16, and a 4, which is 20. And then I added plus 2 for my melee skill. So, I do succeed in defeating the cultist of Arashkagal, or whatever that is. And it says here, so now the henchman gets banished. I can attempt to close the location. So bury a card that has the Divine trait. Fortunately in my hand I had the Blessing of Abdar, so it gets buried. And this location is closed. Alright, so that was pretty quick. Didn't get a chance to go through any loot. That's pretty much the disadvantage of starting or ending the scenarios pretty quick. So since Ahmotep really didn't get a chance to gain any loot. She's not going to visit a trader. The reward for this is actually, you know what, the reward for this scenario was this piece of loot, the Ushabi of the Willing Servant, plus we do get to meet this trader. So these are the two rewards. So maybe, you know, if she got like an extra piece of loot, maybe I'd go ahead and go to the trader. But as it is, I think I'm going to keep this since it's a level 2 loot. It will allow me to do a future trade, because last adventure for the card feat I went ahead and I bumped up spells to 5, and I did decide to keep the lightning bolt spell. Alright, well that's where we're at on this scenario campaign adventure. I'll have another adventure up shortly, and thanks for watching.